Think about the last time you took a flight. You printed your boarding pass, waited at the crowded gate, walked down the jet bridge, and stepped onto the plane. But did you notice something? Whether you were flying out of New York, Tokyo, or London, whether you were boarding a massive Boeing 777 or a small regional jet, you always step onto the plane from the left side. Every single time. Have you ever wondered why? Welcome to Simple Things Surprising Histories. Today, we're answering a surprisingly old question hiding in every airport. Why do we almost always board airplanes from the left side? To understand modern airplanes, we actually need to look at boats, specifically boats from over 1,000 years ago. In the early days of sailing, long before airplanes were even a dream, ships were steered not by a wheel in the center, but by a large steering oar. Because most sailors were right-handed, the steering oar was usually placed on the right side of the boat. The Old English word for steer was steer, and boat was board. So the right side of the ship became known as the steerboard, which eventually evolved into the word we use today, starboard. Now, imagine trying to dock a ship with a giant wooden oar sticking out of its right side. If you docked on the right, you could easily damage your steering oar against the pier. To protect their equipment, many ancient sailors preferred tying up and unloading on the left side. Because this left side was typically turned toward the port while docked, it eventually became known as port. When humans finally took the skies in the early 20th century, aviation pioneers didn't invent a completely new rulebook. They borrowed heavily from maritime and naval traditions. In fact, early airplanes were often viewed as ships of the sky. This is why airlines have captains, first officers, and fleets, and it's why airplanes kept the nautical directional terms port and starboard. Just like the ships that came before them, early aircraft operators and designers gradually standardized passenger boarding from the port side, the left side. But history is only half the story. Today, we still follow this long-established convention for highly practical modern reasons. The next time you sit at the terminal waiting to board, look out the window at the right side of the plane. While passengers are casually walking onto the left side, the right side is often a busy, high-speed work zone. Fuel trucks, baggage handlers, catering vehicles, and many servicing operations are typically concentrated on the starboard side. By keeping passengers primarily on the left, airlines help separate people from heavy machinery and busy ground operations. It reduces congestion, improves efficiency, and lowers the risk of accidents. There's one more interesting detail. In most commercial airliners, the captain occupies the left seat of the cockpit. Because the captain typically occupies the left seat, aligning the aircraft so the left side doors meet the boarding bridge is often easier to judge from that position. So, the next time you step onto a flight, take a brief moment to look at the door. You weren't just walking onto a modern engineering marvel, you're stepping into a tradition whose roots stretch back to ancient sailors and whose practicality has been reinforced by modern aviation logistics. Thank you for watching Simple Things Surprising Histories. If you enjoyed this journey into the everyday, please hit that like button, share this video with a frequent flyer, and subscribe to the channel for more surprising stories hidden in plain sight. Safe travels, and see you next time.